Hi there, it's real estate coach Josh Vegan, and welcome to this week's coaching tip. Today we're going to talk about the difference between the basics and the extras. And what I see happening is a lot of real estate agents focusing on the extras when they really should be focusing on the basics of what it takes to run a great business. You see, to run a great business, the simple things you got to think about is that everything is about building that database, growing that group of people that are going to be your audience, that you can send your marketing to, that you can actually help them in their transformation as an individual. The other great thing here is that with those basics is that once you've actually got those people in your database, what are you then doing to actually work and to nurture that database? And that's about being in the conversation for when it counts, about properties that have been listed and properties that have been sold. And this is not just about sending out a whole heap of marketing. This is about learning now how to communicate with the client, which is over the phone. And getting on that phone and speaking to as many people as you can and actually booking appointments is what makes the difference in writing that $1 million. Once we go to work those people that are in that database, we then move to conversion, which is really simple things like summarizing at the end of every meeting, getting the next point of contact, and always making sure that both you and the customer know exactly what you need to do in order to be able to get them a much, much better result. You see, this is the challenge for a lot of people, is that we don't really think about how we improve the conditions of the client, and most importantly, how the basics are everything in running a great business. Everything inside of business is about booking those appointments because we're about understanding that what we help people to do is to make some much better decisions. Now, in order to help them to make some much better decisions, what you need to be doing is having those confronting conversations where you actually ask the right question that unlocks the door for the client to allow them to make the decision to use you as their agent to either buy the property or to sell the property that they're currently in. And so many agents are so stuck inside of their own head, they don't even look at the marketing that they're putting out. And the worst thing about our industry is that we tend to copy what other agents have done in marketing. And so then what we end up with is a whole heap of real estate agents that have exactly the same marketing with different colors that's really awful, that doesn't relate to the customer. Let's be honest, the customer doesn't need you to be in their street from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock next Thursday. What they need you to do is to meet their unmet needs because you really understand where they're actually at. And the challenge for so many is that you're focusing on all of the extras. What are we doing around social media? What are the different things that I've got going out as an agent? What are all of the things that I can do to make it look like I'm far more successful? How can I tell the story about the hundreds of millions of dollars worth of properties that I've sold and how amazing I am about the amount of money that I've got for the clients above their reserve? Well, what are you going to do when the market changes? Are you going to tell the clients about how much you've actually sold those properties for well below the owner's expectations? Are you going to be in a position that you talk about how much money those individuals have lost from when the peak of the market was? Now, I'm not being negative here. I'm in a position where I'm getting you to really think about what it is that you're actually communicating and learning that what you've got to do is to help people through their situations regardless of the market. And the best thing that you can do as an agent is to get really clear about what the basics are that actually make you an incredible agent. And those basics are getting in front of the customer, getting back face to face, and staying focused on hitting your listings target. You see, you can list your way out of any market. And it's really critical that no matter what time of the year that you're at, you need to get your minimum number of listings for each and every month. If you focus on the basics of hitting the minimum number of listings, everything will change on the inside of your business. I really hope that you've enjoyed this week's coaching tip, and I look forward to seeing you next week.